Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I will be doing a review for the sixth episode of season 1 for Walking Dead, TS-19, or TS-19, Test Subject 19, however you guys want to say it. It's up to you. But the main one is TS-19. So as review goes, I'll do a quick synopsis, um, likes and dislikes, and then I will rate it, and yeah. But be aware that this does contain spoilers for those who haven't seen the episode yet. Um, but yeah, that's it. So this episode is the season final for the first season, and the beginning is maybe the best beginning of season 1. Like before, that scene before the credits. I think it's the best one of season 1. Cause if you remember in the first episode, oh, which would be Days Gone By, I believe. Yeah, which is Days Gone By. You see, after Rick wakes up from his coma, you see the hospital destroyed and everything. And here you see why it's been destroyed. The military did come. Shane came to visit Rick, tried to get him out, but he couldn't. So then I guess they blew up part of the prison, and that basically made the whole like wiring, well, like the whole medical system, like with all the electronics, like turn off or shut down or whatever. So thinking that Shane thought Rick died in the hospital, and then you see why the hospital is so messed up because the military was shooting every everyone, all the everyone who was there, guests, patients, doctors, nurses, whatever, and walkers as well, even their own people who were even better. Rick and Shane, I guess, were very lucky if they didn't get shot. Um, yeah. I mean, so you see why, not the whole hospital is destroyed, which is actually good. Um, yeah. So after credits, no main intro, you see what happens in the CDC, and I think after the credits, eh, it feels kind of rushed, like the previous episode. Not as rushed as a previous episode, but seems kind of rushed to an extent. Though it seems rushed, yet like it's attempting to actually be well done. And yeah, you see, Andrew is still mourning for the death of Amy, and everybody, trying to come back then from what has happened, and yeah, and by what has happened is like the apocalypse because they've been in the quarry camp for like the past I don't know how many months, 2 or 3 months, and they just found the CDC, and now they're trying to, you know, trying to be normal again, eating, drinking wine, um, taking baths, normal baths, and yeah, um, after, but then you realize, then after a while you realize there's something wrong with the CDC. That's the oil or the gasoline or whatever for the generators is running out, and 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 after that, um, there will be some HITs, which are basically it basically just heats the air around it, and it heats the air around the the it heats the air, and it basically puts the air on fire, and then it explodes, and that's it. Yeah. Um and that's it. So that's how the CDC explodes. Yeah, I know this isn't a very good review right now, but a bit of I'm trying to recall some stuff, but whatever. Yeah. So the CDC basically explodes, and now their home is taken away. Now they have to go somewhere else. That's how the season ends. Jenner, Jackie die. Jackie's reasoning for wanting to die is because she doesn't want to keep going through the emotion of all this. Yeah, and then at the end of the episode, um, Jenner whispers something into Rick's ears. I'm not gonna say what it is until I do the Beside the Dying Fire review, which will take me some time. Um, but that's when I'll say what Jenner said. Um, this episode seemed it was better than the previous one. Yet it was still seemed rushed. To an extent. So not as rushed as the previous one. This one actually seemed like Ashley tried to take some time, and that's what I like. They tried to take some time. I don't like it. So seemed rushed, but whatever. Um, yeah, I mean the explosion was good, and the way they got out, like, cause at first, they it really didn't seem like for the rest of the group, like Rick, Carl, Dory, Shane, Carol, Sophia, Andra, Dale, Glenn, and Daryl. It didn't seem like there was any hope of them getting out because the glass windows and doors and everything was all effed up. That T Dog, almost forgot him. Um, talking black guy. It didn't seem, but then Carol pulls up and gets a grenade. That Rick acquired from the soldier in the Days Gone By from the dead soldier in the tank. I completely forgot about that. Um, but granted, I was 10 years old, so yeah. So that's it. So they get the grenade explode on, blow up one of the windows. They all leave, and everybody. Andra seems kind of suicidal, and Dale tries to convince her, and Dale almost dies of goes trying to convince Andrea. Andrea and Dale eventually make it out. They live to an extent, which I'm not gonna say when. Those who watch the show will know when they die. Dale and Andrea. So that's what I because for I honestly thought they were gonna be goners because you know, but no, they actually did good. Um, yeah, I mean it still seemed kind of rushed. Um, I I just wish that Jenner would have stayed a little longer because maybe it would have explained the disease maybe more. But he said that it could be like a flu type of thing or parasite. Jackie then says wrath from God, and he says maybe that too. Um, parasitic, and all this stuff. Just wish he could have explained it more, but you know, he's already lost too much. He lost his wife during the early time, and he says she was an Einstein in their field of expertise and all that. So I guess he was just some random scientist. I Yeah, even though it's rushed, it does seem like it took its sandwich. As I said before, I like that Jackie. I like just I really didn't care for her. She died. I guess you had to have some kind of death. Jenna, I really didn't care. I kind of cared for him, like poor guy type of thing. Now he's dead, but not much. I mean, you did have to have some kind of death. Um, but Jenna almost made a whole group explode and die, and that's almost a neo-suicidal action, basically meaning that even though you're gonna commit suicide doesn't mean you have to kill the ones around you. Though he did convince, he practically convinced two of them, or two or three of them. I mean, he convinced Andrea, and then Dale just stuck around. I mean, truly, he only convinced the one, which is Jackie, the black lady. Now for the rate. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'd have to put this at a 6. It's decent. It's a decent episode, honestly. I mean, there are still parts you need the emotion. Like, I honestly think the ending, but I think Lori Holding, which is Andrew's actress, she did a fantastic job because she's still mourning over the death of of Amy, and then Jeffrey Demon, which is Dale. I also think he did it pretty good because of his acting and him trying to convince Andrew not to commit suicide. Norman Reedus actually had a pretty funny role at the beginning of this episode, getting drunk and saying "booyah," and that was funny. Um, yeah, it was. I mean, everybody being drunk, but for all I know, they could have actually been drunk while filming. So, um, and 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 then they gave Carl wine, and then Laurie's like, well, he'll drink wine when he's either in Italy or France, and knowing that's never gonna happen, you know. He's not gonna be drinking wine for a long while. Um, so yeah, that's it. I I'd rate it as a 6 out of 10. It's decent. I mean, it still seems rushed. Yeah, it seems like it took its time. I mean, the acting is better than most of the episodes of season one. In this episode, especially emotion wise. Um, I w- I'd recommend it honestly, but but honestly, I'd recommend every episode, even the worst ones, just so you don't miss out. So yeah, so this is Daniel Mart. Comment below, subscribe, tell your friends, neighbors, family members. Um, share on Instagram, Facebook, Vine, MySpace, Twitter. You know, you know. Um, so yeah. Comment below. Tell me any ideas you guys want to see, and please subscribe. I'm open to I'll be happy to subscribe. Yeah. So tell your fan. I'm just off today. Tell your friends and everyone, sharing and whatever. Um, this is Daniel Mart. And I guess I wish you all you guys a happy Thanksgiving.